Hi guys, this is Jess and I'm back again with another video. In today's video I want to talk about what you do when you have a brand new silicone mold that you've never used before for candle making, the steps you need to go through to test it out before you get ready to sell it. You've got your new mold and the first thing you're going to want to do is give it a wash and dry, and I've done this before this video. Now this looks like a carnation type flower and I want to see what it looks like with wax in it. So I got my new mold and I need to wick it. And I always save the offcuts of my wicks for molds exactly like this. That are the perfect length. Otherwise this would be thrown out and wasted where I can use it for another candle. So I'm going to want to make a hole right in the middle here. Use something sharp like your wick scissors. You see how I can get the hole in there perfectly through the middle there? And don't worry, it's not going to be too big if you just poke your pointy wick scissors in there. See how sharp these are at the point there? Then take your wick and put it through the hole. Now this is not enough. This is not enough now to just pour the wax in, because it will it has the potential to pour out the bottom. So what you can do, a super awesome hack, is if you take some of this tack, like it's like a, blue tack or multi-purpose tack or whatever, the stuff that you stick on the walls that they used to have in schools, that you hold up pieces of paper and stuff to the walls instead of using tape. You get some of this or some molding putty or something like that and put some of it. That's a bit much. You don't need that much. You just need a little bit of it. And put it at the bottom of the mold right here where the wick is. And then you stick this down onto your surface where you're going to be pouring your mold. Okay, so now it's nice and securely stuck down. And a really awesome thing is get some skewer sticks, just wooden bamboo skewer sticks, cut them in half or break them in half, and use them to attach your wick to. So just wrap it around the skewer stick a few times and then make sure it's centered, and take the excess wick and just make sure that it's going to hit the side of the mold like this so that it doesn't dip back in and get stuck in the melted wax. Right, once we've got that done, take your melted wax. I just have some leftovers here that I heated up right before I started filming. This is palm wax. And pour it in your mold. Now when you're pouring this, make sure that you don't get the wax at the bottom of the skewer, otherwise it'll get stuck in there. Now let it cool down and then we'll unmold it together and do wick testing. I've let this sit overnight to cool down and harden, so I'm just going to undo the skewer stick now. Cut the bottom of the wick. You can see right here I've had it too close, the skewer stick too close to the wax, and it's embedded in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my nail and just kind of scrape that off so that the candle can still sit flat and it doesn't have the embed stuck into it. The best thing to do is not to pour it so high in the mold so that just doesn't happen. Alright, now we're ready to pop this out. So just pull the sides of the mold like this, straighten out the wick, and then use your thumbs to pull the candle out. Just gently, making sure the wick goes through there so that you don't pull it out of the entire candle. And there you've got your candle. It's a really nice carnation flower. The next thing that you need to do now is to clean this mold out again. You can just pull out. See, the next time I make this flower, I'm going to make sure that I really pull it out because it's kind of damaged some of the petals. And you can see the excess wax in there. So how I'm going to get this out is I'm going to just knock it like this and stretch it. You can see there's still a little bit of wax stuck in there. And then This palm wax comes pretty clean. I don't usually worry too much about it because it's such a hard wax. If you're using like a soy blend, this is going to be messier inside just because of the soy wax. Even if it's a pillar blend like Eco Pillar Soya, it's going to be messy inside your mold. And then the easiest way to clean this up then would just to take a heat gun, heat it up, and then get a paper towel or a tissue and wipe out the inside of it. So let's trim this wick up a little bit here. I'll just trim it about that much. I'm going to put it onto a heat plate, like a heat safe plate, and then I'm going to do a wick test on it. Now I know that this will just be a decorative type of candle, but I still want to make sure that I do a wick test to just see how it burns and if everything's all right with it. So I'll put a hyperlapse video of the burn time at the end of this, but most likely that this wick will be a good match for this, just based on other ones that I've done that have been wider. See how this candle has a wider base than this one, and it burned just fine with the exact same wick in it. So I know it will be fine, but I always do a test burn anyways to see how it goes. And I know how this fragrance reacts with this palm wax already, so I know it's got a nice hot throw. But those are types of things that you're looking for when you're going to be testing out the wicks and things like that on them. So I'll do a hyperlapse so you can see it burning, and leave any questions you have below. And please give this video a thumbs up if it was useful to you. Thanks. See you later.